Hi everybody, how are you today? Welcome back to September. For those who are new with us, my name is Karen Brown and I have this site, The Oldish, as well as Real Life Renos. That's another site. We deal with renovations to your life, to your home. And I also have a products-based website called, or a Facebook page rather, called Brown Healthcare, where we specialize in fall and injury prevention. But today, I wanted to welcome you back to our first live event of the new season, if you can call it that. We've taken a break during the summer and had some reruns, and it seems like most of you have really enjoyed watching the reruns all over again. But today, because I'm live, I want to first of all tell you that if you have questions, you can put them down below in the comments and they will pop up on the screen and I'll be able to see them and answer your questions. We'll be able to have a chat. And I want today to introduce you to my bidet. How many of you have bidets? Well, I didn't have one until this summer. I got one. I was supposed to have a little bit of surgery on my arm. In fact, the surgery was to have happened today. However, somebody with a greater need came along, and so I got bumped, which is fine. It's not a big surgery. I have a little piece of something in my elbow that shouldn't be there, and it prevents my elbow from fully extending, or my arm from fully extending. So not a huge deal, but I'm told it's a rather lengthy recovery. So I would be one-armed, if you will, for quite a while. So it seemed like a good time to get a bidet. I know that a lot of people got bidets during the pandemic. In fact, it became really, really tough to actually get one. So although I've used them when I've traveled in Europe, I had not really thought too much about getting one here. But with the advent of this surgery, which, as I said, has now been canceled, it'll happen at some point. This summer, I decided that I needed to get a bidet. Hi, Monica. Says you're watching. I'm so happy to have you here. And I see that there are a bunch of other people watching. So for those who have just joined, I'm in my bathroom, welcoming you to my bathroom. And I got a bidet this summer. Hi, Mary. I got a bidet this summer because of some impending surgery, which, as I just finished describing, was to have been today. But somebody came in to the doctor with a greater need. Hi, Jody. And I got bumped. So it will happen at some point. But meanwhile, having this bidet, when I am going to be restricted to the use of one arm for quite some time, seemed like the thing to do. So I did some research. I got a bidet. Now then, when you look for bidets, most of them have controls that are standard, and most of them are built into the right side. Because it was my right arm that was to have had and will have the surgery. Hi, Monica. Hi, Barbara. I needed either controls on the left side or I needed a remote control. Couldn't get one on the left side. Ended up with a remote control. So, you know, I don't think the manufacturers really view bidets as accessibility tools. So I got a bidet that has a lot more bells and whistles than I would normally have bought. So, you know, you can buy a bidet for, you know, they're retrofitted to the toilet, which I'll show you just momentarily. You can buy them for, like $150, I think. Or you can buy like a whole toilet and spend $5,000, $7,000. This one that I got, I'm in Canada, it cost me about $1,700. Again, I would not have spent that much had I been able to get controls built in on the left side, but I just could not. It was not available. So let me show you this beast. I'll turn around. Hi, Kirsty. This is it. It is a Toto. I am not sponsored by Toto. I paid full retail for this. They have no idea that I'm doing this. When you get it, it does say that the installation should take about 11 minutes. And it probably would have, except that I did run into a couple of problems which are not Toto's fault. Not at all. Hi, Margaret. The first problem I ran into, I mean, it's easy to take the toilet seat off, so I did that quite quickly. The first problem I ran into was down here. And just getting that connector, because this is an older apartment, it was a little on the stiff side. So there was that. And I did talk to my plumber, had a nice conversation with him. He was very helpful, and he ended up actually coming over after he was finished work that day. And he was able to get the connection off and connect that as it should. Now, the next problem I ran into, again, not Toto's fault. I don't know if you can see, no, you can't really see it. It's blocked, but there are, back here, there are the nuts that connect the toilet seat to the actual toilet. The actual toilet has pre-drilled holes in it that you can just slide it's a plastic, I'm sure there's a name for it. Somebody's going to know. There's a plastic piece that you put down in the hole, and then you put the screw in and screw it in. The hole that had been built or molded by the manufacturer of the toilet, the glaze had not fully escaped this hole. So there was some glaze in the way, which I would not have been able to get out without a drill. My plumber had a drill, and he was able to drill that out. And from there, it was just a perfect installation. So Toto, the toilet seat has a lot of options. One of the options is that it will rise automatically when it senses you coming. That freaked out my cat. And his litter is in here in the bathroom as well, so I turned that option off. However, you can see that it lights up. You can see the light there. So at nighttime when you get up, it's really nice. It has all of these fancy controls. When it senses you coming, it sprays the inside of the bowl so that nothing untoward sticks to it. The seat is heated. You can turn that off, and you can have it at whatever temperature you want. You can have it cooler or warmer. Of course, the seat does come up as well. And if you have the automatic riser on, then I don't think the seat comes up. You have to pull that up yourself. Not being a man, I wouldn't know. But anyway, it does have a nice automatic closure on it that gently closes. This is the important part. This is the tool that is the important part. So you can see down at the bottom, we'll start at the bottom. You can set preferences for user 1 or user 2. This next section here positions the sprayer further ahead or further back. This section lets you choose the strength of the spray. Okay, and then you have the various options, which are, clearly the back, the front. This is an air dry. This moves the sprayer in a sort of a fashion like this, so it goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. This one, I don't know what it is. Haven't used it yet, but anyway, and this makes everything stop. Whatever option you've chosen, this makes everything stop. And this tells you that it's on. So it is battery operated, and the fact that it's a remote control is really snazzy. It does some other things here, letting you choose options. So this is where you would choose how warm the seat is, the strength of the spray, the on-off of this seat rising. Now, I don't know if I can get away from it enough, but if it senses you coming, it automatically sprays the inside. And it's going to make a liar out of me right now, but trust me, it does that. When it senses me coming, I can hear the sprayer turn on. Now, I can't show you how this actually operates because it needs weight on the seat in order to actually make anything operate. But the little arm comes out of there. That's where the sprayer is. It will come out of its little garage and do its thing. It also has a deodorizer in it, which is kind of a handy little tool. And yes, I know that this is white and this is almond. The almond version of this was not available when I made my purchase. It is available, I see now, which is fine. But I actually prefer white sink and toilet and so forth. So if I ever redo this, I will definitely make sure that I get white fixtures. However, you know, it's an expensive enough unit at $1,700 that I'll live with the white, and I'll be able to move it around in the future, and hopefully I'll have white fixtures then. But anyway, that is the Toto, and you can see it's adds a little bit of height to the toilet seat, but it's quite stable. This is the deodorizer piece back here, or sorry, the sensor. Back in behind it is the deodorizer, where it comes in and out, so you can exchange it when it is no longer deodorizing to the extent that you want. It's a pretty snazzy unit, and I'm very happy to have it. So now that we've done my bathroom tour, we're going to go outside where I can answer any questions that you might have, or if you have any experiences with bidets, maybe you can share them with us all and let us know what you think of bidets. I've had this one now for a couple. Oh, you know, I forgot to show you the most important thing. I will show this to you, because this is the first thing I had done before I even got the bidet. But I knew that I was getting it, and you must have this. A plug. You have to have that electrical outlet. So can you live without it? Yes. If you don't plug it in, then your tushy will be sprayed with tap water, which is the temperature the tap water is. It's just cold. And I didn't want to be spraying myself with cold water. So I got the plug, and now I have warm water, and I can choose how warm I want the water to be. It just heats up a small amount at a time. So I really like that. And I think I'm going to find it really nice on winter days to have that warm toilet seat and also the warm water spray as well. So that's a really important piece. The bidet will certainly operate without being plugged into the water. But, you know, I really am enjoying not using so much bathroom tissue. I'm enjoying a fresher feeling when I'm done. And I know that when I have my surgery, it will be of enormous benefit to me because I am right-handed. I'm actually bidextrous, but those sorts of tasks are right-handed tasks for me. So it'll work quite well. How many of you have a bidet now? And how many of you want a bidet at some point? If you could put that in the comments below and let me know, because I know we've got a few of you watching. Monica, Barbara, Jody, Margaret, Christy, let me know. Let me know what you think of a bidet. Is it something you have contemplated? Is it something you would contemplate? You know, I think it is something that a lot of people, as we grow older and maybe lose range of motion, might want to consider. I don't know who designs bathrooms, but a lot of times I find, as is the case in mine, and this is a very old building, it's way over 100 years old, but as they are building them, they tend to put the toilet paper dispensers on the back wall. So you've got to really turn to reach them. And so range of motion for a lot of people is an issue. It can be a temporary issue, or it can be a permanent issue. It can be one that we all age into. But I think that having the option of this bidet retrofitted to your toilet seat really helps with range of motion issues. Now, the only thing I'm going to do that I have left to do is I want to get just a little table of some kind to put beside the toilet so that I can put the remote control on it. Right now I have it resting on a toilet paper holder, which is, you know, it has a ring about, well, the diameter of a roll of toilet paper, essentially. And, you know, I do run the risk perhaps of, hi Ray, of knocking it off at some point, which I don't want to do. So not the most important thing on my hit list, but something I will consider doing at some point. So I haven't seen anybody put any comments here yet. Who has bidets, or who wants bidets? Or do you have any questions? The question I normally get from people, friends, when I'm talking to them out in the wild, if you will, is, does it really clean? And yes, it really cleans. It really does. You kind of get used to it. You get used to how your own body functions. I do find that with the bidet toilet seat, you have to sit back on the seat a little further than you might otherwise. Personal preference. Is this too much information? Monica, I wouldn't mind having one. Yeah, they're pretty cool. And again, like I said, you can get them in all price ranges. You know, $150 right up to the whole shoot and match, the entire toilet unit where it's all built in. I can't afford that for sure. And I probably would have spent, I'm going to guess, I would have spent around the $700 mark for a bidet toilet seat, just to have, I mean, I like the warm toilet seat. I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit of a sucker for that. I probably would have spent around that much to get the bidet toilet seat if I'd been able to get the controls that were built in on the left side. But, so Ray, or is it Val? Or is it both of you? I know some couples do a Facebook page with both of their names, so I don't know whether you are Ray or Val that I'm talking to, but hi Marin. Anyway, yeah, but I was to have some surgery, and it was to be on my right arm, and it was to have happened today, but it's been put off. So that's fine. It'll happen when it is meant to happen, but it is my right arm that was affected. So having the controls on the right side would not have been helpful to me. And there weren't any with left side controls available at the time that I was shopping. Monica says it pays for itself with not having to buy too much toilet paper. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I have noticed that a lot. I've really noticed that. So back to the question I get asked a lot about whether or not it really cleans. Yes, it really does. And you just get used to how your own body functions and which spray options work best for you. I use 2 of them typically. And I find it does a really good job. And then really what I'm using the toilet paper for is to dry myself off. Now, when I've been in Europe, they have special cloths for that. And I guess I could get cloths here too and do the same thing and almost virtually eliminate the use of toilet paper. I haven't done that yet. I haven't gone to that extent, but you could do that, certainly. Absolutely. Yeah. They come usually in white and almond. I haven't seen them in any other colors, but that's typically the color of bathroom fixtures anyway, either white or almond. I got the white. I happen to have almond bathroom fixtures, which would not have been my preference. And in the future, if I move or if I buy a different place to live, hi Cheryl, then I would probably prefer white fixtures, and then it'll fit in perfectly. It'll be fine. This is removable. This seat that I have, it's retrofitted. I kept the other seat. It's around. I can put it back on in just a minute or two. Toilet seats are pretty easy to swap in and out. So I'm finding it super lovely. I do enjoy getting up in the middle of the night. Well, I don't enjoy getting up in the middle of the night, but if I do have to get up in the middle of the night, I am enjoying just that little bit of warmth. I don't have the toilet seat set too warm because it's still summertime. I know it's September, but it is still, in temperature terms, still very much summertime, and I just enjoy that little bit of warmth. So yeah, you do not typically need a plumber to help you install these. This one it's from Toto. I am not sponsored by Toto. They did not give me any kind of a price break or a code. They don't even know I'm doing this. It's just the one I chose. I read consumer reports. I read different review sites. You've got to be careful which review sites you read, because the manufacturers will often have their own review sites. And of course, they review their own products very, very well. So I tried very hard to get neutral, objective sites, and consumer reports, consumer reviews, those kinds of sites were very helpful to me and provided me with all the information I really need. And there are sites that do the best of for a given year. So I found those helpful as well, as long as they weren't manufacturer sites. So best of, hi Lisa, best of 2022, best of 2021. I read both of them really, because they do come out with new features now and then, but it was really how sturdy and stable the bidet seat was. Was there a good manufacturer's warranty? Did people run into problems? I was kind of interested in that. And I wanted one that plugged into the water system of my bathroom so that I could make use of warm water, and I wanted the plug-in so that I could actually get that warm water, because when it plugs into your taps or your toilet, it's using the same fresh water that comes into your toilet, so it's whatever temperature that is. But if you can plug it into hydro, then it will warm it up for you quite nicely, and I do find the temperature of the water just perfect. So hi Dan, nice to have you join us. We're talking about bidet toilet seats. Dan and Lisa are our newest watchers, so thanks for joining in. As I was telling those who joined in earlier, I got a bidet toilet seat this summer in anticipation of a surgery which has yet to happen on my right arm. Not a big deal surgery, but one that will keep my arm out of commission for a while. It's a lengthy recovery, so the surgery is the least of all of it. So I wanted this bidet, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So I thought I'd introduce all of you to it. Do you want to go back and see it again? Hi, Darlene. We're talking about bidets. Let me take you back and show it to you for those who joined late, because it's not complex in any way, shape, or form. But I can show you the features that I chose. Look at that nice blue sky behind me today. Nice blue sky. Yes, I always lock doors. I don't know. It's a habit. I'm always locking doors. So come into my bathroom with me, and I will show you this bidet. It's a Toto. And again, oh, can you hear that? It heard me coming, or it sensed me coming, and it sprayed the inside of the toilet, which is one of the features. So Toto is the one that I got. I am not sponsored by them. They did not pay for this or give me a price break. It's pretty simple. It attaches to the water of your toilet, the fresh water that's going into the tank. And then over on this side, this is the electrical plug that my electrician installed for me, which was a really quick thing to do. Now, as I said at the beginning, this seat has an automatic up feature. Here's the sensor. When it senses me coming, that's how it knew to spray the inside of the toilet. It sprays it so that nothing will stick. Am I saying that delicately enough? But it will also raise the toilet seat. I have turned that feature off because it freaks my cat out. The first morning when it was here, it was pretty funny. Anyway, you can see it has all of these nice features. When it's doing something, that blue light spins. There's the on off. It's this comes up and down as well. So here's where the little spigot comes out, the little arm. I cannot show you that because it is necessary to have weight on the toilet seat before any of the operations will commence. So that's just not going to happen. So anyway, the important part of it is this. This is the remote. And I'll go over this part again. You can set preferences for 2 users, 1 and 2. This sets your preference or your choice at that time for the location. These two here do the location of the arm, the wand, and then you have the various spray features. So, you know, the back end, the front end. This is a dryer. The dryer is not particularly useful. It doesn't really dry you. Hi, Lynn. It doesn't really dry you. I mean, if you like to sit there and read a book, I guess, but you really need the toilet paper or a towel to dry yourself with. And these two functions have to do with the location of the little arm. This one here makes the arm do a motion like this. So back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then on the back of it, and you can hear it, it's actually doing things. On the back of it, you can set the seat temperature, the dryer temperature, and other various things. It comes with a very detailed instruction book. So that's how I turned off the automatic seat opener. But that remote is really handy, and so I just want to get a little table to put it on here rather than putting it here. I find this has been just a wonderful thing. As we talked about earlier, people tend to put the bathroom tissue holder on the back wall. That's not handy for people who have issues with range of motion. It's just not the perfect thing. So, you know, I know that a lot of people are now getting the independent toilet tissue holders that also store extra rolls of toilet tissue, and you know that's fine. It's a little easier for people who have range of motion issues, but those things are expensive. They're $80, 70 or $80, and you know, I don't know that I really wanted to spend that. Anyway, so speaking of spending, because I'll tell you the price of the Toto that I got, because I could not find one with the controls built into the left side. I could only find them that were available. I'm not saying the left side thing isn't available or isn't manufactured. It is. It just wasn't available when I was looking for it. They're not common. Mostly they are built into the right side of the toilet seat. It's attached to the toilet seat so you can operate all the controls with your right hand. It is my right arm that is going to be operated on. So, hi Maureen. So having controls on the right side wasn't going to work for me. I needed that remote. So I ended up getting one that has more features than I would have purchased. It was around, hi Margaret, it was about $1,700, this bidet. I probably would have spent more like $700 had I been able to get one on the left side. It's nice to have the warm seat. It's nice to be able to plug it in and get the warm water. I like those features. So, like I say, I probably would have spent around $700. You can spend as little as $150, I think I've seen them for. And if they go on sale, they might dip under $100. So, you know, you can buy a bidet at virtually any price point. They go way up. You can spend thousands of dollars. You can buy like the entire toilet fixture, the entire toilet fixture with all those functions built in, and you can spend $7,000, $8,000, $9,000. I often hear people, like celebrity types, talking about their bidet seats from Japan that, you know, do everything but well, anyway, I won't go there, but anyway, and they're like $15,000. So clearly you can spend a lot of money on a bidet. You just don't happen. Barbara, thank you for the question. There's a little piece of something in my elbow that shouldn't be there. We don't know what it is, if it's a little piece of bone that chipped off or whatever, but I can't fully extend my arm. So it's not going to get better without the arthroscopic surgery to go in there and actually take this piece out. It's not elective surgery because it's not going to get better on its own. So, you know, it's taken me about 3 years to get to this point, and I've waited a year for the surgery with the pandemic and everything. You know, I get it. Mine is not urgent. Hi, William. They grade these things apparently on a scale of 1 to 4, 1 being the worst, 4 being, I don't know what 4 is. It's like almost elective surgery, I suppose. I'm a 3. So a 3 is, it's not elective surgery. It does have to be done because it's not going to correct itself. But anybody who is a 1 or a 2 that comes in would bump me, and that's what happened. Hi, Cliff. So, you know, you never want to be the person with the emergency. Thank you, Marcy. It'll be fine. It's the surgery is not much of anything, as I understand it. It's the recovery. It's just long. My arm hasn't been straight in 3 years. So they're going to give me a nerve block and they're going to straighten the arm, and I have to wear a splint for a while. And, you know, the arm is just going to be out of commission. So as I do physio and work it back to where I need it to be, it's just a process. They tell me is going to be 4 to 6 months. So, hi, Barb. So anyway, not a huge deal. You know, a bidet is something that so many people wanted during the pandemic because we couldn't get toilet paper. It wasn't easy to get toilet paper. And anybody who thought about getting it then was really out of luck. Or maybe oops, there's a bug of some kind, will go away. Anybody who wanted one kind of put it on their list, and they're back in stock now. You can get them. I got mine from Amazon. You can get them from various plumbers. Home health stores may have them as well, although it's going to be a very limited supply. It's not something that they're going to keep a lot of in stock. So do your research and understand what features you want and need, and the color of your fixtures, whether it's white or almond. My fixtures are almond, but I got a white one. I couldn't get almond at the time. It wasn't available, but I probably would have got white anyway, just because I prefer white fixtures, and I'll be able to take this toilet seat with me wherever I go. And I think this is maybe the only place I've ever lived in that has had almond fixtures. Usually they're white, so I'm not unhappy with just being able to get the white. That's fine. So anyway, that is what I can tell you by way of introduction to my bidet. If any of you have any questions, put them in below and I will do my best to answer them. But as I've been prattling on for half an hour now, it's probably time to let you all go back to your lives. But I do thank you for watching. I thank you for your kind wishes for my recovery whenever that happens. It could be another year before this happens, but you know, I've got my bidet, so that's all that matters. And I am really enjoying it. Surgery or no surgery, I am really enjoying it, and I would not hesitate to recommend it to anyone. The brand is something you have to choose for yourselves. Hi, Barb. The brand is something for you. I got the brand that I got based on reviews and recommendations and so forth. But new reviews are always coming out, and they come out with new features on their bidets all the time. You know, it's like a car. The new model year has new stuff on it. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Be well, take care of yourselves, and I will see you next Wednesday at 12 noon. Take care. Bye, everybody.